And Charming had brought a guest. She's in the house, and she brought somebody for us to interview. She swears,
right,
this is money here. So.
Yeah, I don't know where she finds these people.
But she found him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Odd Corey, the Sword Devil. Look at him.
What's going on, man?
What do you do, Odd Corey?
So I am a professional variety entertainer. I travel the entire country independently, and also with one of the last 2 touring circus sideshows in the entire country, a traditional 10-in-1 sideshow.
Nice, nice. So the sideshow is what's the definition of a sideshow?
So traditionally, a circus sideshow was a concept developed by Phineas T. Barnum himself in the late 1800s, and it was the show before the show, and it literally often sat off to the side of the midway, hence the name sideshow.
Right.
It's where you would go in before you went into the big top to see the big top
the main
circus.
event. Right.
Yes, so that's where you would have your bearded ladies, your freaks, your geeks, your sword swallowers.
And here you are.
Gotcha.
And here I am.
So you are the Sword Devil, which means, go on, explain yourself.
I am a sword-swallowing daredevil because I don't just swallow swords, and there aren't a terrible lot of us in the world today.
No.
But out of those that do, some of us definitely try to push the limits. I, for one, consider myself more of a daredevil with some of the things that I'm willing to do. And
I would imagine it takes a little bit of gonads to try it for the first time.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Or just a little bit of crazy. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Maybe. I don't know.
How about before we get down to the nitty-gritty here, whereabouts you from?
I was born and raised in Hagerstown, Maryland.
Oh, you're from here. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
You think I live here by choice?
No,
I'm just kidding. It's a wonderful town.
we get that a lot. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask, what makes you start doing something like this? What makes you start
failed suicide attempt?
Yeah. What gets someone into sword swallowing?
I mean, depending on your intentions, every time I do it is a failed suicide attempt.
This is true.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know,
I guess so.
No, I started doing it because I was already working fairly professionally as a variety entertainer, and I was doing a lot of traditional acts that you would see within a circus sideshow, conventionally speaking, and in its purest form, the sword swallower, out of all the working acts, I'm not a freak, I'm a working act.
You're not a bearded lady.
No, you're not a bearded lady.
Correct. Yeah, I'm not a natural born freak or anything like that. I'm a normal.
Although that is a real
person.
mustache.
It is.
That's
Yeah.
a nice
It
mustache
is.
you got going on there.
You know,
Yeah, do Geraldo Rivera.
I get that all the time. You know, it's not even the swords. Like, that's a fake mustache.
Really?
Yeah.
Belong on the can of Pringles there, but you're doing all right.
Yeah.
It's the real deal. Is that conditioner you use to curl it up on the end?
I do condition it, but no, that's a good bit of beeswax.
Beeswax right there?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, mind your own.
Yeah, right?
Hey. All right. So, and at what age do you start swallowing swords and whatnot? I mean,
I'm 30 years old now. I've been swallowing swords for about 4 years. I've been working as a variety entertainer in some capacity for about 10 years.
okay.
Nice, nice. So you travel the country.
I do.
So your lifestyle is very
Nomadic.
You're
much
all
so.
over the place.
But the question, you start out as a variety performer, but at what point did you pick up the sword and go, let me try this? Were you inspired by somebody to do it?
Absolutely. So, traditionally speaking, the sword swallower was the highest paid of all the working acts.
So you went for the money.
Well, you know, that's a very traditional sense. And anymore, the challenge of it was.
Sure.
You can't force it. There's
not.
no trick to it. It's a discipline. It's a 4,000-year-old discipline. There aren't very many of us at all. And honestly, it helped me overcome personal trauma. It was one of those things where I learned that if I could kind of manifest this in a way that I have such control over my body, mind over matter, that if I can do this, I can use it to mentally combat, other anxiety issues and things like that. Because you can't do this if you're stressed out, and it's really hard to put like 2 feet of steel throughout your intestine, essentially, and remain calm, which is the trick behind being able to do it.
So obviously, you cross a threshold, you relax. It helps you with fear, anxiety.
Yeah,
You ever get a sore throat?
A sword throat, yeah.
without the D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I'm sure it gets a little calloused, right?
Sure.
Something, nothing going on with the anatomy. It's
Yeah.
all just
Any
working.
injuries?
It all
Any-
working perfectly.
I mean, there are definitely health hazards that come with it.
I would think.
Aside from the obvious,
Sure.
The thing people don't think about, because people tell me all the time, "Oh, can you teach me to do it?" You don't want this,
right.
because over time, the muscles, the sphincter muscles, yeah, I said it,
Yeah.
throughout the esophagus, they loosen up over time,
Right.
and then you deal with issues like acid reflux and things like that. It's harder to keep things down into your stomach.
Gotcha.
Do you take some conditioning?
Yeah, absolutely. Most sword swallowers, out of the few that there are, it's multiple times a day, every day for a number of years, training to desensitize all of your
Yeah,
gag
you're
reflexes.
exercising it, right?
You ever think of taking on Kobayashi in the hot dog eating contest?
I was actually eliminated from a hot dog swallowing contest at a bike week event I was performing at. They wanted everybody to be like, deep throating these hot dogs and all, whoever could get it the most. Well, of course, I'm just like, there it goes.
They kicked your ass out.
Yeah.
didn't like you.
I was disqualified.
He's cheating.
Mr. Kobas over here.
Yeah, he's
Anyway.
cheating.
So-
Eat your
That's what
heart
they used
out,
to call
Joey
me in
Chestnut.
college.
All right. So you brought some tools. You brought
did.
some of your gear. You want to step up here and show us what's going on? I think Charming.
What do you
Wants
got
to-
over here?
wants to-
Let me see what's in here. What's in this case?
Yeah.
So down here in the case, I brought a whole buffet, if you will.
A buffet.
I have a Japanese-style sword called a wakizashi.
Yeah.
I also have a very large broadsword, that one right there with the gold handle. That is a
I see.
United States
Yeah.
Naval officer's ceremonial dress saber.
Nice.
You'll also find an ice pick, a hammer and nail, a lightsaber of sorts,
I see.
a trusty crab mallet.
Does it say Hagerstown or on that
It
ice
does.
pick?
That ice pick is actually an antique that I picked up locally a number of years ago, and if you look on the side of it, it actually says the Hagerstown Ice
Nice.
Company.
So there is no trick to the gadget.
The Hagerstown Ice
no,
Company.
everything in there is 100% authentic as it's presented. It's exactly
The
what
trick
I say it
is in your body, huh?
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
Interesting. Interesting.
So
Yeah.
why don't you
So can we see some stuff?
yeah, want to take the headphones off? There
Yeah,
and
Can
absolutely.
we see some stuff?
Sure.
All right, we get a little.
All right. We should get Charming in here to
We should
get her to
Hey,
get her to help out.
Yeah, this would be a good time for a charming assistant.
Yeah.
So
we go.
why don't we start it
Charm-
off like
the intern,
this?
ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, come on in.
Sure. So why don't we start it off like this? Go ahead and grab that ice pick for me. You might be old enough to know what an ice pick is. I don't know. Yeah, I'll take that. Very good. And so you can actually see right here, it'll say the Hagerstown Ice Company.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got the old phone number on there and all that other good stuff.
Nice.
Call it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, the reason that I still carry this around is because I used to get in trouble all the time with my own mother, believe it or not.
I believe it.
For picking my nose. I still like to do it. And it turns out that after all this time, she was not so upset that I was actually doing the act of picking my nose. I just wasn't using the proper instrumentation. Now, you call it an ice pick. I call it a nose pick.
Oh, my goodness.
Lord.
There we go.
And-
And that's the best Pinocchio impression I've got.
That is the.
I'm impressed.
He told a lie. Wow.
Now, you looked a little bit concerned while I was doing it, but rest assured, if you look on the tip right here, that's what we call peace of mind.
Nice.
All right. Yeah.
Gotta love
Hey.
that. I'm glad this show's on after
So-
9.
yeah, showbiz.
I'm wearing my
All right.
sunglasses so I can close my eyes for some of this.
Yeah.
Now,
Look
that's
at you.
actually an extension of a traditional circus sideshow act that was really perfected in the mid-1900s by a man named Melvin Burkhart. He's the one we call the original human blockhead. And that looks a little more something like this. If you don't mind, go ahead and bring me that hammer and that nail that's laying just underneath of it. Now, that's a real hammer and a real nail, right?
Careful, Charming. All right, here we go.
Yeah, just a regular old 20-penny nail.
Nice.
There it
nice.
is.
I use those all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing out of the ordinary about it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take the hammer and I'm going to take the nail, and then I'm going to drive the nail directly into the center of my face for your viewing entertainment. Aren't you excited?
Oh,
I'm
please do.
thrilled.
All right, fantastic. Let's give it a try. On the count of 3.
Oh, good
1,
Lord.
2.
Oh, nope.
No?
No, not that part.
Well, you know what? The joke's on you, because I am crazier than a sack of ferrets, but I'm not stupid. And I know my anatomy. That's not the center of my face. So actually, if you follow a horizontal axis across and a vertical axis down, that puts the center of your face right about here.
Oh my God.
Now, I've got it about halfway in so far, and I know that because I can no longer do algebra. Now, would you like to see me drive it the rest of the way in? Unless you
I
wanna
don't
hang a
know.
picture on
Hey,
it.
you've
I
already
don't
started.
know.
Why not?
You don't know? Yeah, why not?
Why not?
If you're going to get nailed, you may as well do it on camera.
Right.
One.
Lord.
All right. Now it's the whole way in. It's touching the membrane and the back of my skull. And I know that because I can taste purple. Now, this is actually the hardest part, and that's pulling it out using the claw end of the hammer. Now, for you guys right here, I don't know if you've ever been to SeaWorld, but
Sure.
we're in what we call the splash zone. So let's
Oh,
hope
good
this
Lord.
is it.
Yeah, back off.
Oh man.
I'm watching on the monitor. It's bad enough from way
there
over
it
there.
is. Oh, man, that was
Good
tough.
Lord.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I was just checking for blood. But it's
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's not.
I get it.
not, because I'm original, too.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny man.
So, you guys want to move on? You want to see some sword swallowing?
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah.
That's what they
Let's-
call you.
Let's see it.
All right, fantastic.
nails
so
and the
why
ice
don't you go
pick so
ahead
far.
and grab for me the sword with the black handle right there? Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
And now we're going to make this just a little bit interesting. Where's a good place for me to stand to do this?
Oh, okay.
Right.
So you can scoot
You
up
can
anywhere
still
you want
raise-
right here.
Sure. Here we go.
Here's what's going to happen. This is a Japanese wakizashi. It's a 20-inch solid steel blade, and it's about an inch wide. And it does have a very delicate curvature to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this in my mouth, and I'm going to move it past my uvula, larynx, pharynx, and epiglottis. I'm going to push it all the way down my throat. It's going to touch my heart, nudging it out of the way, separating my lungs, passing through the lower esophageal sphincter, and coming to a complete halt in the pit of my stomach.
Do we have a disclaimer of some sort?
Now, once I swallow this all the way down, you, my queen, I will bow to you. Now, I'm going to bend over just like this, and then you're going to grab the handle, and you're going to pull it out of me. So we're essentially recreating that famous scene from The Sword in the Stone, where you're going to play a young King Arthur, and I'm going to be The Rock, not Dwayne Johnson.
Haha.
Here we go. Huge round of applause.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Hey, you got a little stomach acid on there.
Maybe.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't do that. I've done enough acid.
You said it.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
that's how I got into this.
Hey, you are Odd Corey the Sword Devil.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Crazy.
Man.
Would you like to see the nail?
The nail.
Why not?
Which, how big is
Want
this
to see the
nail?
nail? Okay.
It's a pretty big nail. So what I have right here is actually about 20 inches long. It's a 20 millimeter diameter. This prop actually weighs in excess of 12 pounds. It's got a good bit of weight to it. So what I'm going to do is actually swallow this all the way down, except I'm not just going to swallow it.
You're going to tack it down with
I'm
a
going to
hammer,
use
huh?
this claw hammer, and I'm actually going to drive the nail all the way down my throat. And it's cool because if you look really closely, you'll be able to see my Adam's apple push clear off to the side and then pop right back into place as soon as I remove it. It's
Yowza.
essentially a large medical dilator.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Are you ready
All
to do
right.
this?
I
guess so.
I guess so.
I mean, it's a roller coaster ride. All we do is ride it. Good Lord.
You know, it takes skill to hit a hammer from the to hit a hammer backwards. You know. Oh my!
I heard that.
I heard that. I don't know if that came across on the mics or not.
Well, if I heard it, they heard it.
Wow.
There's a word we have for that. I don't know if you want me to say it on air.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? It's called a sword.
Aha.
Ah,
Nice. All
get
right.
it. Rock on.
Get a little gassy from your
Wow. So
from nailing your throat.
we
Huh?
asked the intern to bring some
Woo.
guests, and she goes and finds this guy. Man, I'll tell you
Wow.
what.
That is crazy.
It's Charming's friends. Yeah,
I don't know where she finds them. She's out there on the street.
she's working the street.
Huh?
What's
Yeah.
that?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. All right. So, hey, you're Odd Corey the Sword Devil.
Correct.
Where can we find you? Where can they find out more about you? Where are you next? What's going on with you?
So you can find me on places like the internet at
Right.
oddcorey.com. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram under Odd Corey, and also YouTube. Definitely check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I document pretty much every unique experience, as I travel independently, and with our big show. Definitely check out GreatAmericanSideshowCompany.com. That is the big show that I work for. It's one of America's last touring 10-in-1 circus sideshows. Yeah, you'll be able to find me actually in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Will be my next quasi-local gig, and I'll actually be performing with the legendary and undisputed worst band in the world, Green Jello.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Get some T-shirts.
Little pig.
Let's get them on the Hub Show.
All right, that's what we need.
All right. So, where's your YouTube channel?
If you can just look up Odd Corey the Sword Devil,
Yeah,
comes
you'll
right
come
up.
up,
Yeah,
right?
there's
All right.
only one Odd Corey.
Gotcha.
Well, depending on how you look at it, because I get a lot of search results for Corey Feldman.
Gotcha.
He did that to himself.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for coming on again.
Thanks for having
Actually, someone
me.
did it
Odd
to him.
Corey, the Sword Devil. He's out there. Check him out. And if this is your cup of tea, by all means, go see Odd Corey. All right. Thanks a lot, Tommy. Hub Show. We'll be right back. Yeah.
Turn this bitch up.
So we are live. Talk hard. Talk hard. Talk hard.
I'm not even in the right place. Bring up chicken. It's getting all over your house. People's podcast.
The Hub